What's up, everybody? It's me, Johnny G, and welcome back to the channel. We are going to be wrapping the story portion today of Arknights ending a Grand Overture. So this is part 3 of the story, and last time we essentially got to see that Siege, or Vina Victoria, in her new role as speaker, is kind of starting to see the effects of the suffering being more widespread. A little bit more than she just, I think that she felt it was. And it's not so much that she didn't realize or didn't know. It's just one of those things where she's starting to see and talk with people more. She's starting to find out more. And she's got so many eggs in one basket, so to speak. And she's trying to balance it all and trying to focus wholeheartedly on the recovery of Londinium, but doesn't seem to be working out the way that she intends or wants it to. And she's seeing different things happen between the struggles of the former exemplars, or the ones that still believe that they're part of the group and that they're, that name is still going to be upheld. And then between issues with their own physical conditions and their infection and so on and so forth, then you've got people like Shearer, who is struggling with a painkiller addiction because it was the only way he could keep going. He had to keep using painkillers to get rid of the feeling and to get rid of the the pain. But now he's stuck dealing with that. However, Delphine is going to help him in that regard. But the overall effects as well, where she met like the guy that was the warehouse worker with Feist that came to her, and well, she clocked him one, and then she kind of was like, wait, whoa. But then she wanted to do it again. But then it was like, I can't, she's listening to the people talk and hearing things. And when she decides to finally make her declaration, the Dukes decide to step in. They decide to make it a mess. And they decide, nope, you're not saying nothing. It's on us to tell you what you can say and when you can say it. And she doesn't like that. She's not too happy about that. But now we've got to see the fallout from that. Is she going to be able to push through? Will she abide by them or do her own thing? And at the same time, how will this recovery proceed? In the end, we're about to find out. We're going to wrap this story up, finish it off in this episode, and then we'll move on to the next part, which will be the EX stages when those go live in a couple of days. But for now, let's start with this story and see how everything pans out for Londinium and Victoria. All right. Die a hero or a villain. We are on GO7. So we have 7, 8, 9 in the after story. So let's do this. Ooh, we're starting story right away. We're starting the stage. Interesting. I thought there was story here. Hey, I'll take it. That's cool.
I don't think I'll even remember your
Let's take these guys out real quick.
Anyway, let's just get started.
Toxins
do
and
this.
traps are my tactics. Relax. I've swallowed up the sun. Draw swords.
Oh, this sucks for Texas, but I had to do something to stall them. Okay, we broke that guy. Somebody's going down. There we go. Perfect. So they would have come out on top, which was fine. They'd have popped through that little area.
Trust in me.
And I don't know where they come out there. Here.
Need speed to succeed.
Here, let's do Pookie there. Okay.
Where do you wish I am Dublin?
What? You think you're a
Okay,
better
done.
robber than me?
All right, let's go. We get all those farming resources here.
Can you do it? Crash the mission briefing. I know what you want.
Delete button activated. I have to go. There they are. Done. I don't like the throne room in the Palace of West Halig. It's so empty, so bleak. That lonely throne just sitting there. I can't imagine what it'd be like if Vina actually sat on it. One woman on that cold, lifeless chair staring at the barren steps. Knowing Vina, she wouldn't last a minute there. I'd bet on it. Throne room, Palace of West Halig. And that's the other thing, they're trying to get her to officially ascend the throne, but in a way, it sounds like they're trying to create a martyr. Someone they can blame for everything, but... Did you find the crown? Where is it? We didn't find it, per se. Someone delivered it to the speaker's office. Can't determine the precise time it was lost, but we're fairly certain it happened after your speech started. Vina already placed the crown on that empty throne, so what's the point of stealing it? Was it an order from the dukes? I don't think so. The dukes are never of one mind. They each have their own agenda. However, for the crown to go missing at the same time they're visiting Londinium, that's far too much of a coincidence. But according to what you've told us, isn't that crown just an old rusted hunk of iron now? Not exactly, Morgan. To many people, the crown is extraordinarily important, no matter its current state. It's been left untouched for over 20 years, but the people have not forgotten about it. In fact, they are more eager than ever for its return. They're waiting for a wise new monarch to put it on his or her head. Someone who can dispel the shadows hanging over Victoria. No, most people are just desperate for a miracle. Something that could satisfy their craving for royal authority. I cannot deny that. Plus, you have listened to their voices for ages, Vina. Your identity is truly unique. A descendant to the royal family and a bona fide war hero who was nonetheless raised on the streets. It's no wonder so many naturally feel drawn to you. Now that Parliament is up and running and the Dukes have willingly relinquished their authority, the people are all the more convinced that you've secured universal support. The next step is plain as day. But the Dukes have no intentions of doing anything like that. The public only cares about the outcome, Morgan. Yes, I've understood that since the day we returned home. Unfortunately, sometimes I'm still very good at letting people down. She is. New Achtereg Streets. Achtereg. Thank you for sharing the enemy bars. Enemy bars. Oh yeah, I'm gonna eat me an enemy bar to start things off for the day. Thank you for sharing the energy bars, Alicio. I'll gladly undergo daily sampling if I get tasty treats like this every time. Are these really things you could just buy off the shelf in Colombia? Why do you Colombians stock up on stuff like this? Is it for catastrophe or something? These bars are my own personal thing. Food is fuel. It's about energy and nutrition. Energy bars are convenient, so why not? And again, Diane definitely disagrees with me on this. She's more of a foodie. I understand. We're thankful just to fill our bellies in Londinium these days. Her Royal Highness Alexandrina has worked very hard to ensure that we have enough food to eat. Quit yapping his ear off, will ya? Thank you, Alicio, for these, energy bars, but we'd best be on our way now. Stanley, you're not afraid that Alicia will... Of course not. I can't be arguing with you about such stupid things in front of someone else, right? It's not proper. Huh? He doesn't like when I refer to Alexandrina as Her Royal Highness, that's all. He and I don't see eye to eye politically. I think having a king again wouldn't be half bad, but he insists life has worse for us when the monarchy was still in power. Life was worse. But think about it. Whether it was back then or right now, aren't we managing to get by all the same? So you're saying the presence of a monarch doesn't really impact your life all that much? It doesn't matter what she thinks, even if someone does ascend the throne again. It's not like I'll be invited to the coronation feast. Stanley, when are you going to come up with an argument that actually convinces me? Sorry about this, Alicio. I need to talk some sense into this stubborn mule. Oh, by the way, about the increased patrols in the city, I've heard a rumor. Supposedly someone stole the crown, and the defense forces are investigating anyone who might be connected with the theft. Let's go, Stanley. Goodbye, Alicio. Come to think of it, Diane has never mentioned the king or the crown. Not even once. Maybe I should ask her about it when I get back. Alicio, you should take a break. You've been working nearly non-stop helping collect patient data. The cities infected all experienced acute infection around the same time, with many showing rare pathological progressions. I need to document this valuable data thoroughly. Whether it's for future research for into-oropathy or for developing targeted treatments for Londinium citizens, this data is critically important. By the way, Sarah, why didn't Diane visit you today? Diane? I thought she was helping you. Many of my old comrades came by the sanatorium today. They wanted to ask if anything unusual had come up recently. We were hoping to bring Diane along for a little reunion with them. Not good that she's missing. Throughout the whole war, Vina never told us where she found that crown. But it didn't matter. None of us cared, and no one would ever see that hunk of iron again. It was supposed to remain sealed in the throne room in the Palace of Westhalig, left to corrode and decay into nothing. The Age of Kings is over and done. That's what a drunken Vina said to me with her arm slung around my neck. And yet, barely 2 months later, here it is again, staring us in the face. The ghost of this ancient empire refuses to let go. It's always ready to claim its next victim. Speaker's office. And see, she's got her clothes in that glass cabinet. That's funny. Does anyone else know about this? We've taken steps to contain the information and we'll do everything we can to minimize its impact. So what do we do with this thing? Morgan points at the battered crown sitting on the desk. This is my first time seeing it up close. Can't believe so many people are fretting over this old thing. Vina? She notices that Vina isn't looking at the crown at all. Instead, she's standing silently by the desk, her gaze fixed on the dejected figure sitting in the chair across from her. The one who stole the crown. Diane. You really have no questions for me, Madam Speaker? I reckon many of you have fanciful notions about me. Besides, my colleagues will soon have a more complete and objective report delivered to my desk regarding this matter, so... Don't let me in with those people! All they care about is the throne itself. I care about the one on the throne. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm well aware of every new law Parliament has enacted, Speaker Vina. Unauthorized entry into the throne chamber is indeed a serious crime, and I'm not planning to deny anything. Vina shakes her head. But that doesn't mean you're fundamentally different from those people. The Provisional Court will try your case according to law. Do you have any further objections? No, Madam Speaker. Dauphine, I'll leave the rest to you. I'll personally return the crown to the throne room and make sure security is tightened up. And then I need to prepare the report for the council meeting. A report? You didn't have to do all this, Siege. You know all too well how inefficient Parliament is. It's just a group of individuals all looking out for their own self-interest. You must already be exhausted just from dealing with all those MPs, no? Londinium has no need for a speaker operating at the whims of Parliament. What Londinium needs is a real, absolute leader who can guide the city through its transformation. Vina, there's no point in arguing with her about this meaningless stuff. I know, Delphine. Madam, are you suggesting that Londinium needs a dictator? No, I'm talking about a king. Victoria needs a king. I can guess what you want to do, Madam Speaker. You're unlike any ruler I've ever known. You don't even care about your own lineage, but if you wish to achieve your vision, Speaker, it won't be enough. This crown should not and will not become an obstacle to you. She stands up, giving Vina a crisp salute. That is all I have to say on this matter. I give my thanks to the Exemplars and the Siege for all you've done for our homeland. I'm fond of the changes she's undergone and firmly believe she'll become an even better leader in the future. It's just a shame that her transformation is still so slow. I won't live to see that day myself. Let's go, Lady Delphine. Where should we head next? So many people believe in Vina and believe in that need for the king. But is it necessary? Do you really know what I wish to do? You want to change Victoria. No, you want to defeat her. You want to defeat the Victoria of the past. Vina stands at the foot of the staircase, holding the crown in her hands as she gazes at the throne. Beside the throne, a golden lion lays sprawled, his eyelids drooping halfway. Gawain, you should have told me sooner. Step by step, she ascends the staircase until she reaches the throne. Instead of sitting on it, she sits on the steps before it. The lion doesn't seem to open his eyes. His gentle breath brushes through its mane, sending up faint specks of dust. He is displeased. I'm sorry, Gawain. I had another sleepless night. There's still so many thorny issues left unresolved. She feels the warmth at her back. The golden lion has moved closer, and his massive body is now supporting her, just like it had when she was a child. Vina catches a whiff of sunlight. Gawain, how nice it would be to fall asleep leaning against you like this. Walking all the way back here from outside the city feels like a dream. But it's been so long since I've had a good night's sleep, let alone a deep, satisfying dream. The lion lifts his head slightly, brushing against Vina's golden hair, tickling her just enough to make her smile faintly. The chill in the air sends a shiver through her, jolting her back to clarity. Has it always been this cold here? It's not time to rest yet, is it? What we're doing now still falls short. There's not enough medicine, not enough food, and endless arguments. Sometimes I wish I could just rip off this uniform and knock those idiots down one by one. Maybe things would be much simpler that way, huh? Defeat the Victoria of the past. If only it was as simple as a match in the ring. The golden lion closes his eyes, drifting off to sleep, though his tail is still lazily swatting against Vina's arm. Teacher, I'm sorry for complaining to you again. There are some things I don't know how to explain to Morgan and the others. They wouldn't understand, and I don't want to make them worry. As for Delphine, I don't want to show too much doubt or vulnerability in front of her. She's already taken on so much from me and pinned so many expectations on me. There are already so many people counting on me, Gawain. I don't want to let them down. She shuts her eyes and grips the crown. King. Speaker. These titles mean nothing to her. She just wants. Vina, I knew I'd find you here. Were you just asleep, or? No, I was just thinking about something. Gawain, She instinctively turns her head to the side, but there's no one there. Yet that warmth remains unmistakable. He's gone. Thank you for being here with me, Gawain. Morgan, what are you doing here? Delphine convinced the Provisional Court to hold the crown thief in the Defense Forces detention quarters for now. The full report on her is out now. I didn't want to waste time, so I came straight to you. Here's the report. Her name is Diane Weber. Morgan pauses, watching Vina closely for a reaction. But Vina simply looks at her with curiosity, waiting for her to continue. She didn't just decide to steal the crown out of the blue. She's been working with a pharmaceutical rep from Colombia for a while now, helping spread awareness about oropathy infection protection methods. That's how she learned when the guards patrolling outside the Palace of West Halig would change shifts. Once she got inside, she waited until your speech and slipped into the throne room. And then, she stayed there for quite a while, at least half an hour. What did she do in here? I don't know. And she won't say. Maybe she was hesitating, or maybe she just got lost in thought. In any case, she managed to make off with the crown without alerting anyone. Wait, something doesn't add up here. She stayed in the throne chamber for so long. She didn't run into the patrols after the shift change? Nope, she didn't. Even she was surprised by how easily she escaped. She thought for sure the patrols would catch her. So someone must have helped her. Was it one of the guests? Unclear, but if she had help, she didn't know about it. She came up with this whole plan herself. But why? Just to bring the crown to me and goad me into... Her name is Diane Weber. I know. You don't remember her. I kept thinking she looked familiar, and when I saw the report, I realized it's her. Remember that day when the Alliance surrounded us on our doorstep? The first soldier to defy orders and escort us forward? Vina recalled the sky that day, filled with steam, the lingering smell of smoke and gunpowder, and the soldier whose face had become a blur in her memory. Excuse me. This is Lieutenant Diane Weber, the 6th Column, 10th Infantry Regiment. Lower your weapons, soldiers, and escort the exemplars in their advance. Before I was a soldier, I was a Londinier, and this is my home too. Go, Siege. The fight is not over yet. We will take back what is ours. Diane Weber, the soldier who defied the Duke of Castor's orders. She contracted an acute infection in the final battle against the Nazir King. That rings a bell? She was the one who took the size of kings from you and charged towards the Nazirs. She doesn't have much time left. We were short of oropathy suppressants and she never got enough medicine to slow her condition. We took a look at her, but... The crown lets out a faint metallic creak as Vina's hand tightens around it. It looks so fragile, yet its resilience is undeniable. She really loved our home, and she loved Victoria as well. That's why she volunteered to join the ducal forces, only to defy their orders and end up forced into retirement. She trusted you, even though I don't agree with some of her ideas. Vina, maybe we could... I never finished asking for mercy on Diane's behalf. Vina knew what I wanted to say, and I knew how she'd respond. No, I knew what speaker Vina Victoria would say. Even now, I can't imagine what must have been going through Diane Weber's head when she made that crazy decision, but I admire her. Even though she stole the crown, she did it out of love for Victoria. I don't understand. Since coming back to the city, so many things have changed in ways I can't fathom, and I don't want to understand. And on that day, I finally made up my mind. From the end of that final battle outside the Palace of West Halig until now, I've lingered here far too long. Maybe it's time to go home, back to the boxing gym.
A battle without an explosion or cheering makes me feel a little uneasy.
A drink?
Let's head back.
Maybe next time.
A drink? Maybe next time.
Okay. Geo 8. Oxford Front Lines T1, October 2nd, 1098. Ah, these guys. Sudram. Death awaits at the end. My liege watches. Death watches you. Captain, the target has been neutralized, but our remaining ammunition is estimated to last only 2 more minutes. We need our next set of orders. All units, prepare for close quarter combat. Hold the line for the next 2 minutes. I'll cover your retreat. Siege, our artillery support is running out. The bombardment will end in 3 minutes. What's the situation on your side? We can't clear the Nazure fog. This Nazure fog. These things have severed the supply routes our workers cleared for us. We can't get supplies to your position quickly enough. Prepare to retreat from T1. Negative. Abandoning T1 will create a gap in our encirclement, and the Alliance forces will break through from our side. Captain, I can't accept that. The battlefield isn't a place for heroics. Honor your orders. We've sent a distress signal to our friends at Rhodes Island. Now we have to trust the doctor and a plan. Soldiers, we've made it home. Do everything you can to survive. Only then can we take back what we've lost. Siege, we'll hold the line for the final 2 minutes, then retreat to regroup and assist you in clearing out the creatures in the fog. Bagpipe, keep them safe. Aye, Captain. If the fog can't be dispersed, don't wait for us. Head to I-12 and rendezvous with Gododin's 106th Assault Brigade. Keep fighting. Understood. I'll be seeing you soon, Captain. Strange howl. Look out, Siege! It's the Confessorius Chimeras! Everyone prepare to retreat! Song-like shriek. It's lit itself up! Hannah, watch out for its flames! Oof, it hurts! Vina, are you alright? Everyone else fall back! I can't allow any more needless sacrifices. A piercing wail. Wait, where did this backup come from? Anti-witchcraft cannon has struck the target. Enemy movement disrupted. Remaining squads continue setting up anti-witchcraft cannons. Mission objective: eliminate threats within the fog. Friendly forces at T1, hold your position. Emergency supplies will arrive at your location in 3.5 minutes. Exemplar T1 combat team, message received. Please identify your unit. Duke of Normandy's 8th Grenadier Battalion, under orders to support the Exemplars. The Duke of Normandy? 8th Grenadier Battalion? Horn, do you know anything about this unit? They're not under the direct command of the Duke of Normandy. They report to the Earl of March. Lieutenant Scamandros truly has an exceptional grasp of our intelligence operations, as to be expected from someone born into a military family. Lieutenant, keep Her Royal Highness Alexandrina safe. As for your Highness, please accept this small gift. Once all these matters are resolved, I'll visit you in person, Vina. Siege, do you know the Earl of March? No, we've never met, but her name was mentioned in some of the information sent to me. That doesn't matter now. With reinforcements, we should be able to reopen the supply line. Horn, we'll meet again soon. At last, it's time to bring all of this to an end. Finally! The crowd cheers. Phew. She gazes at the shard in the distance and the faintly visible Palace of West Halig, calmer than she has ever been. Triangle, cello, oboe, Tempest platoon, everyone watch closely. As we scatter the dark clouds over Londinium, all members of the Exemplar T1 combat team, hear this, hold your ground, do not give them a single inch. Roger that. Damn, just get me hyped up. Let's go. I want to fight. Highbury secret base. Captain, Rock 18 just uploaded the scan of the last segment of our route to PRTS. Did you receive it? Got it. Rock, we're already repairing the final track shift node. Given the current damage level, how long until the repairs are complete? 10 minutes. Located Granny yet? We need to retrieve that weapon as soon as possible. The Exemplars will need our support on the front line. Still trying to pinpoint the correct location. The signals we found over the past few days were all decoy beacons they left behind. It might take a bit more time to re-establish contact. At least that means Granny's team is still safe for now. Captain, if we can't get in touch with Catherine, what should we do? We'll use this passage to transport as much of Highbury's remaining supplies as possible to... Captain? Is everyone okay? Where did those sarcasms come from? And what was that artillery fire I just heard? The smoke shifts, yet a small ember glimmers brightly in the depths of the haze. The ember of a cigarette. A familiar, acrid smell hits Feist's nose and makes his eyes sting. I keep telling you, when you're busy working, you always forget to watch your back. There she is. Welcome home, brat. Granny, we've been looking for you all this time. I know. When someone told me the passage was being repaired, I figured it was you. That's... He spots a massive shadow in the depths of the smoke. Haha, remember the blueprints you left behind? It took some effort with the Sarkaz blockade and all, but we finally managed to build your big machine. The crawler. So those crawlers, those machines that we've been protecting, were his design. That's cool. That's actually interesting to know. Sudian's secret underground passage. I know you're there. Your earring has grown rather warm. Those workers who came to support the Self-Salvation Corps earlier, that was your doing, wasn't it? Shh, you'll disturb my friends. Still, thank you for taking good care of little Garnet for me, kitten. And thank you for cleaning up those filthy rocks Ducaria left behind. Here, you can have this back. I have more important things to deal with. Off to find that hunk of sheet metal again. He wouldn't want to miss this battle. Thank you for saving me earlier. Farewell. Where are you off to next? Ascalon? To meet with him. You're not going to go help Dame Calcit? With Army and Logos here, nothing will happen. I'll wait for the team beneath the Palace of West Halig. It's his last known location, as far as I know. Her Highness is gone. It's time to put the past to rest. Your wounds? Insignificant. You don't need to involve yourself in the frontline work anymore. Take care of yourself. Don't you understand how powerful I am by now, Runt? You learned quite a bit from us back in the day, didn't you? Bringing you into the city was the most I could do. Whatever is between you and the Regent, Rose Riverside will no longer be involved. Good. Where will you go next? I'll keep tracking her down. She disappeared so suddenly, abandoning Her Highness at the most critical moment. That demands an explanation. One of our sharp-eyed sisters managed to track her as she left Londinium. She's still heading west, though her destination is unclear. And when you catch her, will you bring her back or kill her? She owes all the riverbank canoes an explanation. But you, Runt, should worry about yourself first. The Regent is close at hand. The Riverside canoes swore not to get involved with anything related to Babel anymore. However, helping an old acquaintance doesn't break the rules. This smear of blood, it's a gift and a blessing, for less pain and fewer scars. Safe travels, Ascalon. Did you really have to wipe it on my neck? Not my fault you always hide your face so well under that hood. You look better this way. Humph. Oh, by the way, I forgot to ask, what do you think of that kitten? She does not emerge from the shadows, and the wind carries her voice. My judgment is unnecessary. When the dust settles, the truth will reveal itself. We're all the same. So she's not working with the Sarkaz. She's giving some background aid to Ascalon and to Rhodes Island? Or Babel? Wait, what? That's interesting. Okay. Even today, many still argue when exactly the war ended. Some say it was when the Nazir King fell at the gates of the Palace of West Halig. Others say it was when the Sarkaz fully withdrew from Londinium. As someone who lived through it, I've been asked quite frequently about my opinion. Luckily, I share the exact same view as Vina. The war ended the moment we found the courage to take the sword from Vina's hands and wield it against the Nazir King ourselves. We fought back, we destroyed, with our own hands, the enemies who tried to ruin us. We never needed a singular hero. That day, everyone who fought for her home and her future was a hero. Everyone, no matter your unit number, which squad you belong to, or which duke you serve, there's no retreating now. Support the allied forces. Why should we lag behind this lot? Quick, go help the exemplars. Captain, my weapon's broken. Take mine. If it breaks, go grab another. If there's nothing left, snatch a blade from the devils and keep fighting. Advance, advance! For Victoria! For Victoria! That was Diane taking the blade. Soldier, you should not continue this assault empty-handed. Take this sword. But this is the size of kings. I can't possibly. It belongs to your royal highness. No, it belongs to Victoria. On the wreckage of the Glorious, trusted allies passed the sword from hand to hand until it reached me, complementing its mission. Now take it from my hand. Let it reach the hand of everyone who needs it. Let its mission continue anew. This is your right as a Victorian. But if we take the sword, what will your royal highness use? I still have my hammer. I will not stop. I will stay with you until the end. The early morning sun breaks through the dark clouds. A golden-haired feline and a Victorian stand together. The soldier grips the sword tightly, her gaze locked on the determined Aslan. Despite the blinding sunlight, she refuses to look away, for she sees the thousands of Victorians rallied behind her, fighting for the same cause. She sees the king walking alongside her people. As you bid. All survivors of the 6th Column, 10th Infantry Regiment, advance with me for Victoria! May the vast lands they keep her our king! She cuts down 2 Nazir Royal Court elites and a caster. Her blade bears 2 new notches. His people and El his well-willing. However, she is too gravely injured to continue, so she passes the sword on. A worker grips the sword and presses forward. He perishes alongside a royal court elite, leaving yet another notch on the blade. And give them grace without ending! An infected picks the sword up from the pool of blood. She does not defeat any enemies, instead protecting it with their body. In doing so, she protects her Victoria and hope itself. Then may we call and safely sing, Victoria, heave thanks for our home. Finally, the sword pierced the Nazir King, after which it disappeared into the chaos of the battle. To this day, we still don't know who the final hero to wield the sword was, or whether they're still alive, but one thing is certain, the sword fulfilled its mission. The Victorians wielded the blade against the invaders. But its legend didn't end there. They say it was the workers who recovered the broken sides of kings from the blood and mud. And as for the rest of the story, well, every child in Londinium can sing it loud and clear. So does that mean, did they actually kill the Nazir King then? Is he confirmed dead then? Because, I mean, that dude is a tough kill. We saw how Logos went one-on-one with him. Octarig, the Nazir's final camp. So that makes me curious. Did he actually die? Is he confirmed dead? I guess, let me look it up here real quick, because that's making me really curious. Status KIA, so yeah, he's confirmed dead. Because I believe, you know, at the end of chapter 14, the events, we learned, or we still saw him, like he was still there, he was still around, because he felt when Teresa died, I believe. He felt that, and was still kind of hanging around, and was starting to reconsider things, but I don't know. I don't believe they ever showed him being finished. So, that's cool. But the fact that Logos couldn't beat him, but the Victorians did, in a way that's kind of weird, but also a little bit heartwarming, a little good when you think about it, that it wasn't a powerful person in the end. It was the common people defending their home that managed to kill him. That's cool. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I don't see any more Dashers. Is the battle finally over? But this blasted fog hasn't let up one bit. Something's not right. The Sarkaz aren't attacking under the cover of the thick fog like before. Is this a trap? Based on our previous encounters with the Nashor army, they're far more elusive than they seem. Horn, what do you suppose we should do next? Coordinate with the main allied forces. Hold off on advancing rashly and minimize unnecessary casualties until we get a clear read on the situation. All right, sound strategy. Dagda, send the orders to all of our troops. I'll pass it on to the Alliance commanders as well, as Closure and the others. Hey! Did Hood even get the frequency right? Huh? We're already live? Yeah, everybody listen up. Babel's captured the Military Commission's command center. The bastards don't know their heads from their asses right now, and nobody's got it in them to help out the crusty old Nasher King. So quit wasting time and get those feet moving. I don't care if you believe me or not. Just go and get this over with. Oh, and by the way, you might want to look up. The old hag owes me big this time. That's we should know. Delphine. We traced the transmission. It seems this communication was received on several different frequencies. Both the Allies and the Sarkaz probably heard it. That voice, it was... We should know. Sounds like they've been busy. Horn, please reassess the situation. Vina, look at the sky, it's... All eyes turn upwards, and soon they hear the sound of steam bursting at full force, echoing above the palace of West Halig. Victoria! The Victorian army boils. It's Charles Lynch! He's gone into the fog! I can hear the commotion inside the clouds. He's battling the Nashers. Orn. Although morale is currently high, the Alliance has yet to make any major moves. Clearly the Dukes are still hesitating. They have reason to be cautious with intelligence from an unknown source. If Rhodes Island trusts Wishadel, then so do I. Huh. We trust you as well, Siege. I'll go tell everyone to get ready. Huh? What's going on? Did you hear that sound? Right beneath our feet. The Exemplars, we meet at last. Wait a minute, Vina. Am I seeing things, or did a giant thing just burrow out from underground? A giant thing? No, it has a name. A crawler. My grandson designed it. Pretty good, huh? The gray-haired pilot blows a smoke ring, standing proudly on the ladder of a massive machine. It has 4 massive steam-powered hydraulic legs, encased in protective armor that bears the unmistakable signs of a worker's handiwork. The smoke is still billowing from its enormous black cannon barrel, a clear sign that it was the one responsible for the massive hole in the ground. A steady stream of Self-Salvation Corps members emerge from the gaping hole beneath the crawler, carrying combat supplies up to the surface. Hugh. Siege, thank goodness we made it here in time. Starting now, the Self-Salvation Corps will join forces with you. With Granny and her team helping out, we'll have a much greater chance of victory. We just got that message ourselves. It seems the timing is spot on. Victoria thanks you. Horn? All clear. The preparations are complete and we're ready to move out at any time. Good. Everyone, this is the final battle. Wait a minute. There's still one thing left. I need to adjust the cannon. There. That should do it. Cover your ears. The cannon strikes the giant bell at the center of Octarig, an ancient relic that had stood for centuries. The bell tolls, loud, clear, and beautiful, followed by the sound of the Alliance war horns and their furious battle cries. We've got to let certain people know we're here. You're in command now. Victorians, charge forth to our final victory! That's got me rallied and ready to go. Sword reforged in war. Let's go. I want to go. I want to fight now. Let's go. Like, I'm all hyped up. Okay. Oh, okay. I remember this one. This one's tough.
Illusion and
We need somebody down here ready.
Too.
And she's perfect for the job.
Draw swords. What do you fear most? Got it. You can't stop me.
Okay. Okay, now we need people like this.
Please, trust in me.
Relax. What? You think you're a better robber than me?
Okay, Texas helped break her down. That worked.
Family.
We can pull her back. That's fine. Alright, we need him. I should have put him with one of those things. That would have been better. It's okay. We'll put Shu here.
A word I've not heard.
That way she can keep her healed up.
I hear the
He's got a wider range doing that. We can put her.
Looks awfully dangerous. You call me out for this?
I've got an idea. What? You think you're a better rope?
I plant you into the soil to grow anew.
Okay, 14. So we're at the halfway point. I'll get some supplies made up there. And we'll put Ifiala there just for some extra oomph. $18, so we got 11 to go.
Awaiting order.
I think we're good. We can pull her.
waiting for your period. The reversal of finality.
Who says there's always a countdown?
Temperature stable. I wasn't flesh and bone bear weeds. Mounds
Boom.
and ruins bloom fields.
25, that's 26. And here's the last three.
I've got an idea. What do you fear most?
Boom, boom, done. Let's go. None of these stages have been particularly hard, realistically. So, victory. In the boxing ring, victory is about honor and glory. On the battlefield, victory is about lives saved and lost. The Nashor King's death terrified everyone who saw it. I don't want to think about it now, much less include it in my book. The Sarkaz won't get a eulogy from me. But I'll forever honor the last Steam Knight, Sir Charles Lynch. How long has it been since he's moved? 10 minutes. No one dares approach Charles Lynch. Everyone gathers around the last Steam Knight, down on one knee in a show of respect. He stands tall and unwavering before the palace of West Halig, steam gushing from every crack in his armor, scorching, unrelenting. Like the sound of a beating heart. How can he still be standing with such grievous wounds from the battle with the Nashor King? It was never his body alone that kept him upright, or he would have never made it out of the Mausoleum of Kings. Vina walks toward the Steam Knight, as everyone else watches on. Vina, don't get close to him. He's off his rocker. I have to. I have to know for sure. But he almost killed you back in the underground, Vina. Let her do it. Something's not right with the Steam Knight. Sir Charles. Siege probably sensed it too. But trust her. Vina approaches the Steam Knight. She can feel the temperature rise from the hot steam. I've never seen you like this, not even back in the Mausoleum of Kings. The war is over. You've protected Victoria. You've completed your mission. Steam hissing. What are you still searching for? The sword? Sorry, it was lost somewhere on the battlefield. Steam hissing. Or perhaps you're waiting for something else. Vina gently touches Sir Charles's armor. Every scratch and mark etched into it tells the Steam Knight's story. The battle with his comrades on the day he swore to inherit the title. The battle on the frontier to quell uprisings. He survived amidst a storm of witchcraft. The betrayal in the Mausoleum of Kings. The charge towards the glorious, towards Originium. Sir Charles Lynch has never fallen. Sir Charles Lynch shall forever watch over Victoria. You're looking at the palace of West Halig. I understand now. You're not the only one. Many more are looking over at the palace. Vina looks back at the gathered Victorians in the distance, wounded, silent, excited, weeping. The people had already formed a long human wall on their own, holding back the rest of an agitated crowd. They are all murmuring different names. Siege, Vina, Alexandrina, Victoria. Steam hissing. I never believed you'd gone mad. Sir Charles, this is our second official meeting. I once hoped that if you found your way out of the darkness, you would find something worth protecting. We've already made it this far. Please wait a little longer until I return. Steam hissing. Vina walks past the Steam Knight, up the steps of the Palace of West Halig, and alone through its door. Time slowly passes. At first, the crowd is silent, but gradually they stir as unrest begins to spread. Why is it taking so long? Could there be other enemies inside? Should we go and help? Quiet, have faith in Her Royal Highness Alexandrina. Can't you see that even the Steam Knight is waiting here in silence? I've heard the crowd is still inside the crown. Do you think that when she comes out, we'll have a new king? Something's not right here. Based on our intelligence, there shouldn't be any more of the Military Commission's forces left. There should be nothing left in that palace. Are we just gonna stand here like idiots? We ought to just go in and see for ourselves. I'll go. There are better choices. Well, we're the only ones who can drive the crawler. As long as we've got the crawler, we've got nothing to fear. We'll be protected, even against the Steam Knight. Vina never told us what she saw in the Palace of West Halig, and we never asked Feist about it either. It doesn't matter. I'm just relieved that once the Military Commission's banner fell from atop the palace, Vina didn't actually walk out wearing the crown. That's my Vina. At least that's how I felt at the time. There she is! She's coming out! Where's the crown? Why isn't she wearing the crown? Quiet, you moron! She hasn't been coronated yet! Why would she be wearing the crown already? What's that in her hands? Is that the devil's flag? Good people of Victoria, the Nazar King is dead. I have torn down this flag that the enemy has stabbed into the heart of our great Londinium. We will tear down every Sarkaz banner left in our home and drive out every enemy still consumed by their bloodlust. But please, spare the unarmed ones. Spare anyone willing to surrender. The war is over. We must not avenge slaughter with more slaughter, nor meet hatred with more hatred. I, Vina Victoria, wish to speak to all the heroes who have fought to defend our Victoria. Hear me. We have liberated Londinium, liberated Victoria. In these coming days, months, and years, we must revive Victoria. We shall revive Victoria. Vina raises her hammer aloft for all to see. The people rise to their feet, and a wave of cheers spreads outward from the center, each surge louder than the last. Londinium and her citizens celebrate her rebirth. At the center of the crowd, the last Steam Knight lets out his final roar, steam bursting forth. His heart stops beating, so he ignites it with the suit's burning core. His vision blurs, so he clears it with steam hot enough to melt flesh. Then Sir Charles sees it. Victoria's flag basking in the sun's golden glow. Sir Charles Lynch can finally fall. Oh, wow. He falls to the light of dawn, to a new beginning. Steam completely envelops Sir Charles's enormous body, making his demise unceremonious and almost unnoticed. Amidst the cheering crowd, a figure walks into the cloud of steam. Allerdale bids farewell to the hero she once so deeply admired. You could have killed me back then. The despicable meeting her at the end. The despicable meeting her end at the hands of her hero. That would have been the perfect ending to her story. So why must the despicable be the one to bid farewell to the hero? Sir Charles, you have completed your mission. My father once taught me that every Steam Knight returning triumphantly from his mission would have a squire to remove his armor and wipe away the dust. Allow me to remove your armor. It is long fused with your body. Core, temperature dropping. I will keep your core. I promise that your heart will never stop burning. It will bear witness to Victoria's future. Sir Charles, you've seen the things you hoped to protect, restored to their former brilliance. Have you any final words, good Steam Knight? From this day forward, you will be honored as a Steam Knight. Sir Charles Lynch, tell me, what do you want for your reward? Your Majesty, I wish for your blade to always be sharp. I wish for the wheat my wife harvests to fill the granary by our doorstep year after year. I wish to hold my newborn daughter in my arms and fly over Londinium, gazing down at the factories bustling day and night throughout the city. I wish for my neighbor, whose legs were crippled by illness, to stand again so we can drink, sing, and celebrate through the night with our comrades we know so well. Your Majesty, what I wish for is a life of lasting peace. If this reward requires me to fight for it myself, then, Your Majesty, I pledge to you I will always keep fighting for you, for all my loved ones, for myself, and for Victoria. Victoria, the oath of Sir Charles Lynch, the final words of the last steam knight. You never abandon yourself, even when Victoria abandoned you. Huh. Steam Knight. I don't deserve that title, nor this set of armor. This war has already claimed too many lives. I hope yours is the last. Goodbye, Sir Charles Lynch. Listen, they're all bidding you farewell. Victoria! Victory! Victoria! For Victoria! The last burst of steam. Victoria. His final hoarse whisper merges with the crowd shouting, like raindrops quietly dropping into the sea. Allerdale sees the excited faces in the crowd, yet cannot help falling into silence. Her eyes are drawn to the woman standing on the steps, Vina. She knows Vina can see her as well. Vina just stands there looking back at her, her lips moving slightly. Did she recognize me? Allerdale sighs. You made the right choice. You're standing exactly where you belong. As am I. Londinium does not need any more heroes, Vina. She turns and walks away, disappearing into the white billows of steam. What are you looking at, Vina? Steam Knight is gone. He has completed his mission. That steam. I thought it was like last time. This time is different. There's no need to bother him. Someone is already seeing him off. All right. Celebration and mourning. Vina, what should we do next? The people stand cheering in front of the Palace of Westhalig. They all look to Vina. They're waiting for you. Then I will show them all, Delphine. Cinesild, Parliamentary Chamber, December 25th, 1098, Christmas Day. Is this the Speaker's answer? She sent you, her old comrades, to drive us away. No, guarding the Cinesild is only one of the Defense Force's responsibilities. Justice is justice, Hoff. Heroes shouldn't be treated this way. Diane and all the exemplars who bled don't deserve this, do they, Commander? I understand what you're saying, but this isn't how Parliament makes decisions. We cannot let this become a precedent. I do not know politics, Captain. I only know that Diane is a good person. If Parliament insists, many hearts will be lost. And you, sir? You still will not yield. I know Diane well. She would never act out of selfishness, nor does she have any ties with the nobility. Therefore, I humbly ask the Speaker to take time out of her busy schedule to reconsider Diane's verdict. This was a decision rendered by the Provisional Court. Diane broke into the blocked throne room in direct defiance of Parliament. Locked. We also know Diane very well, but I'm afraid there's nothing. Diane! Yes, she's the one who introduced us to you. After the war, we lost our homes and nearly our lives. If it weren't for her constant encouragement, I'd probably still be passed out in a barrel of ale. You don't think she's a bad person either, do you? It's just that Vina... Speaker Vina, sorry, it's a force of habit. Speaker Vina must have made a mistake. We've all gone to her office, but I feel like just having numbers on our side might not be enough. Feist, your words carry more weight. Please, I'm begging you. Sorry, but I have to assume that if Parliament put Diane on trial, they must have also allowed her to present a defense. No matter how strange or unfair I think their decision is, having Speaker Vina force them to change it at the last minute would be even more unfair. But Diane's case should be treated differently. We just barely survived the war, and now she's going to die over something so stupid. Listen to the radio. Listen to the patrons in the bars. You'll hear that nobody's happy about this decision. What do you think, Catherine? You said we could lodge our complaints with Vina any time. I think Diane is just a stupid girl who did a stupid thing. Nothing more. She means well, but what she did was moronic. She defied a direct order of Parliament and left Vina with no other choice. So you're planning to turn down the pharma rep? How do you expect me to convince Parliament? Actually, Vina does have a chance to solve this. With her reputation, persuading Parliament to impose a lighter punishment is not impossible. But many eyes are watching as she makes her final decision. This is just one of the many tricky issues that the Speaker of Londinium's Parliament has to face. A hero may be able to save everyone in a war, but... Poor Diane. Lady Delphine, we spent quite a bit of time trying to find you. Me? In just one day, Diane's case caused quite an uproar across Londinium. We briefly investigated who was spreading the news and inciting the public. So, Parliament wants me to shut up. No, Alicio, compared to deliberate acts of sabotage, your actions have had significantly less impact. Actually, we all admire you for fighting so hard for someone you have not known for very long. Vina understands how you feel. She wanted to come see you in person, but I stopped her. I apologize, but Madam Speaker has more urgent matters to attend to presently. Is there absolutely no room for negotiation regarding Diane's case? No, Vina could change things, we all know that. Frankly, this is a very sad case. However, it will serve as a message from Parliament to all the citizens. I saw that you requested to review Parliament's records, so you must be well aware of Diane's charges, the defense that she herself presented, and the various PM's opinions of her. The citizenry has collectively established Londinium's current laws, and the Provisional Court made its judgment of Diane in according to those laws. Isn't this how you do things in Columbia? But she's a war hero. Shouldn't her merits outweigh her faults? That's a notion steeped in reason, yet brimming with arrogance. I often come across this phrase in history books, usually said by old Victorian kings. But if Vina crosses this line, and the others allow it to happen, then what is the point of having Parliament? How would our Parliament be any different from the one where the king himself served as speaker? I don't know the answer to that question, Alicio. But none of us want to take the risk of finding out. Parliament will not interfere with any of our endeavors. However, any of your endeavors. However, as far as Diane's case is concerned, I'm sorry. This is Parliament's decision and it cannot be changed. Diane never told me specifically what kind of soldier she was during the war. Most of the time, she talked to me about her hopes for Londinium's future. Most of the people I meet in Londinium harbor high hopes and dreams for the city's future. This is the city's great fortune. Our duty is to ensure we never let its people down. I see. The herbs Diane grew in the greenhouse against all odds will mature in February. I hear they can alleviate the excruciating pain of oropathy. I'll wait until they mature and take some samples back to Columbia. Okay. If you need any help before then, just let us know. Actually, when I first arrived in Londinium, I was also curious as to what kind of person Speaker Vina was. When Hannah and I visit schools and sanatoriums to give surprises to the infected children, they always ask us about the story of Princess Alexandrina, the Princess Royal. We then tell them the whole tale of the street urchin who became a legendary war hero and the savior of Londinium. But the story always ends when Vina walks out of the Palace of Westhalig. At that point, it's not so fit for children. How I wish the story could end with Vina tearing off those fancy clothes and returning with us to Norport, to the Glasgow gang. But I know that's not possible anymore. On the day of the massed protest against Diane's verdict, Vina explained to us in detail the proposal she was going to submit to the Dukes at her upcoming meeting. They covered a whole lot of topics like food, healthcare, education, and civil service reforms. Vina had the right solutions to all of those issues, but she didn't say a word about Diane. We listened quietly to all of her proposals and then left without bringing it up. She's troubled by it, you can tell. Even just in this artwork, but the way that everybody's talking around the situation. Fuel inventory report. Comprehensive report on all city sanatoriums. Report on oropathy suppressant distribution. Vina returns her gaze to the documents in front of her. She struggles to absorb the reams of data. She knows that in just a few minutes the bell on the table will ring to remind her to head to the banquet hall. She also knows that those guests don't truly care about the numbers she has tried to memorize, much less the actual lives, deaths, and hardships they represent. But she cares. This time, she's the one who invited the Dukes for dinner. I hope this works. In the now quiet office, the faint shouts of protesters outside the window could still be heard. I'm sorry, Diane.
Monster. Collect tissue samples.
Logistics channel, reconstruction metal. All right, 2 more parts left. Geo-9. Here we go. This should be our boss fight. Whew. Fix my mic here. Defense Forces Temporary Detention Room. Still on Christmas. Interesting. Phew, Zone 2 is finally all cleaned up. Now it's just Zone 4 left. How are you doing? Tough work, eh? Want to take a break? I'm cleaning just as fast as you are, as you can plainly see. You don't need to try and accommodate me just because I'm an infected. That's not it at all. I just thought you must be tired with everything you've been through and all. Oh, I thought... Never mind. As for that incident with the crown, I'm fully clear on that now. It was just a spur-of-the-moment thing. Besides, you're not the only one who wanted to do that. Actually, it seems like all of a sudden people aren't as afraid of the infected anymore. It's because we're in Londinium. The policies instituted by the Speaker and Parliament have, at the very least, stopped many people from openly showing fear and resentment towards the infected. But according to a Colombian friend of mine, outside of Londinium, things haven't changed. Anyway, thanks for helping with the cleanup. We would have had the captain on us again without you. I should be the one thanking you for not shackling me. Having something to do helps put my mind at ease. If you ask me, you need not worry about Parliament's decision. Think about it. All the places in Londinium where they could have detained you, why did they choose the Defense Forces lockup? It's because we're all either old war buddies or familiar faces who can look out for you. Don't worry, once things cool down, we'll find a reason for you to go home. Protesters outside the Speaker's office, they're the ones who are missing the picture. We all know what kind of person Vina is. Are you feeling all right? Do you need something to drink? You're saying Speaker's going to release me? I'm saying just rest here for now, where it's safe, until things die down out there. Captain didn't allow you to have a radio or read the newspaper, right? It's because he was worried that you might get to thinking too much. If you're still feeling jittery, my good buddy, he gets thrown in the drunk tank every few days. He stashed some premium hooch around here somewhere. I'll go grab a few bottles for you. I always like that term just because it sounds so funny. Hooch. Anyways. Diane gives a faint, wry smile as she strains to catch the sounds coming from outside. But aside from the faint sound of water running through pipes, she hears nothing but the distant drills of the Defense Forces. Ever since she was brought in here, she's been more or less cut off from the outside world. I wonder if Alicio is doing all right. I really should have let him know beforehand. He must be so worried about me now. Indeed, he went to nearly everyone who knows to plead on your behalf. Madam Speaker! Good. They aren't treating you like some common criminal. And you made sure of that? No, they did it on their own. They believe you don't deserve this sentence. Many came to me on your behalf, your friends, my friends. our comrades in arms, and even some civilians who don't know you at all. Diane, I snatched some of my buddy's liquor for you. He takes a big swig of whiskey. Before the soldier even reaches Diane and Vina, he snaps to attention, the whiskey caught awkwardly in his mouth, too afraid to swallow or spit it out. He quickly hides the bottle behind him and salutes Vina. No need to hide it, Patel. As I recall, Horn did mention that drinking is prohibited in the barracks. Swallows, yes, Vina, but this is, I won't tell Horn, but in return, you'll keep my visiting Diane a secret. And set the bottle down, will you? Weren't you bringing it to Diane anyway? All right. Vina, you came here to discuss the plans with Diane, right? Yes. See, Diane? I told you not to worry, didn't I? I'll go finish cleaning Zone 4. I've been on duty all day and I didn't see anyone here. Would you like a taste of the whiskey Patel left? Doesn't smell all that bad. Diane shakes her head slightly, a bit downcast. Mind if I have a sip then? Meeting with those dukes has left me parched. Madam Speaker, did you put me in here because you really wanted to? You thought you'd feel better among old friends. You would rather I threw you in solitary? No, of course not. Honestly, I'm not as resolute as you think. My past isn't much different from yours, or from that of most Londiniers. Diane, I didn't hesitate over my decision. So does your visit mean Parliament has come to a verdict? I feel it best that I inform you of Parliament's decision in person. I bid you adieu, Lieutenant Diane Weber of the former 6th Column, 10th Infantry Regiment. You are unquestionably a war hero. Thank you for your great service to our homeland. Parliament? I see. Madam Speaker, when will it happen? Tomorrow. All right. Have you any regrets? Have you? Perhaps my biggest regret is that after the war, I didn't immediately strip off this outfit and hide myself away back in Norport. Huh. You would have never done that. I know you. The siege will never abandon our homeland, and the Speaker of Londinium will never abandon Victoria. Huh. I have no regrets either, Vina. May I call you that? You may. We've met many times and fought side by side just as often. But today, I think, is the first day we could truly call ourselves friends. Vina, before I go, would you share a drink with me? Excuse me. When you walked alone into the Palace of West Halig, everyone believed that the woman who emerged would be wearing the crown. A hero must one day be crowned king. Every collection of fairy tales in that old bookstore on Baker Street had a story like that. It was my favorite place to go before I enlisted. I really did want to witness history, Vina. But I let you down. I let a lot of people down. Yes, you could have been a great ruler. Just because I wanted to make Londinium a better place. Didn't the old king, the one who was hanged in public, also want to make Londinium? To make all of Victoria a better place? Things rarely go as planned. Sometimes what you believe is right may look wrong to others. I've only recently begun to understand that. Then what is there to do? I'm still searching for that answer, Diane. Someone I trust told me to try to accept those who hate me and stand firm in my own sense of justice. I'm still learning, but I never imagined this path would be so lonely. You're drunk, Vina. Vina shakes her head. She draws her sword and hands it to Diane. Do you remember Kingasyeth? Kingasyeth. Do you remember Kingasyeth? The size of kings? Yes, I took it from your own hands after all. After the battle, I discovered that it had completely dulled. The smiths worked tirelessly day and night to reforge it for me. This new sword is heavier, carries the weight of even greater expectations than before. Diane, this sword reminds me every day of the right path. The future of Victoria doesn't rest with me or Parliament. It rests on all of you. Those who reclaimed our home with their own strength. Vina, I have one last question. What really happened in the Palace of West Halig that day? kind of story would you like to hear? A heroic fairy tale that'll make it into the books of that old bookstore? Or the truth so plain that it's almost boring? Diane takes a long swig of her drink, her hand brushing over the cold steel of the sword. To be honest, I prefer the old sword. When I used it to strike down our enemies, those were the moments I felt closest to Victoria. Back when I was living a simple, uneventful life, I never imagined I'd have thoughts like these. And besides, there's hardly any time left to savor those quiet pre-war days, is there? Vina, forgive me, but I can't save the last bit of whiskey for you. I really need it. Why now? Of all times, am I suddenly afraid to die? Vina, before I'm completely drunk, would you tell me one last fairy tale? Her tears fall on the sword, sliding down its blade. Drip, drip. Diane, you already know the stories of the past, and you were there for the best parts of this fairy tale. But you may not know how it ends. That day, I entered the palace of West Halic, tore down the Sarkaz banner, and was about to leave when, suddenly, I heard someone call my name from the throne room. Alexandrina Vina Victoria. Then I pushed open the door that had been sealed for so long. I saw... my father, Alistair II, speaking to me.
My Alexandrina, you're finally home. Come, sit by my side, daughter Victoria.
Vina couldn't make out the king's face. The golden mask blended with his golden hair, radiating authority and an air of mystery. He was Victoria personified.
My daughter, are you afraid of me? Are you afraid of Victoria? Vina, never reveal even the slightest hint of fear to your subjects. Your teacher should have taught you that.
You died long ago. 26 years ago, they hanged you from the gallows.
Laughable. Who could kill Victoria? Those greedy condor wings thought they could tear the flesh from my body to feed themselves. They were so blinded by fear that they conspired in regicide. All so they could feast upon the lands of the Aslans for their own gain. But no one can kill us, not the Dukes, not the Red Dragon. We are the beating heart of Victoria. So that's why your statue...
Wow, I started reading her line as him. So that's why. Your statue in the Mausoleum of Kings was never completed. The Dukes never truly laid you to rest. You've been here all along.
What little courage they possessed drove them to confine me in this throne room, but never to claim my throne. Cowardly usurpers. They fear my people. They fear my steam knights. They fear us, Vina. My daughter, tell me, do my people still remember me? Do my knights still guard our palace?
The people of Victoria have long since adapted to life without a monarch. As for your knights, they're all gone. They were murdered by the very people they were sworn to protect.
And what of you, Vina?
I can barely remember what you look like.
Then come closer. Take off my mask and look closely. You'll see only yourself, Alexandrina. The blood of the royal line flows in us both. I'm sorry, my child, that I failed to keep my promise. I intended to hand you a peaceful and powerful Victoria, yet betrayal has left me sitting here, rotting on my throne for over 20 years. But at last you've returned. Take my scepter, wear my crown, proclaim to our people that their sovereign has returned. Purge our land of all dissent and punish every coward who betrayed the crown. Let glory endure. This is Victoria's rightful way.
The king's scepter struck heavily against the throne platform, its dull echo reverberating. Blood was never the source of our strength.
How familiar those words are. Just like my defiant boasts to my father, my own father. You still have much to learn, my daughter. Let me teach you a long overdue lesson, the meaning of royal power. Still, I grant you the right to oppose me. Alexandrina, return to my side and listen.
No. You're already dead, Your Majesty. All that remains here is your echo, lost in the glories of a bygone empire. I do not need you to grant me anything, nor do I need you to validate the strength of my convictions. I just want you to rest in peace, Father. Vina tightened her grip on her hammer, stepped onto the platform, and walked toward the Empire's last glimmer of twilight. Oh, so the fight's a flashback. A hero's final bow. Okay. The boss fight is a flashback. That's interesting. It seems like a lot of these, in a way, are a mix of that, but that's all right.
Keep your distance, or you risk getting caught up in the fighting.
I've got an idea. What do you fear most?
Please, trust in me.
This will keep you quiet.
Okay, we'll get Texas out there.
Where do you wish I am Dublin?
Moving to
I
designated
can pull
location.
Mertosa.
Got it. Cut them to pieces.
Whoa! What are these guys? Okay. How about a little Wishadel here?
Trash the mission briefing. I know what you want.
What do you fear most?
Okay, there's 46. I've always got him already done.
Pass on your last word.
Sorry, pal.
No. Awaiting orders.
Cut them to pieces.
Moving to designated location.
So you wrapped your brain. Who says there's always a countdown?
Solid positioning.
Where do you wish I am Dublin?
Relax. What do you fear most?
Oh,
Awaiting orders.
boss is gone.
Show me what you got.
Thus I speak.
Okay.
War. A word I've not heard.
Veil, the curtain of destiny.
Okay, we'll take care of that one.
I've got an idea.
That's okay. 30 of 46.
If you're
Shoo,
willing
do me a
to
favor.
sow the mountains when summer leaves the white dew, seed the plains when equinox paints russet.
You can't stop me.
Okay.
I'm prepared. Fear not the firelight. So you wrapped your brain. Now, wait in line. We got plenty for everyone.
Take him out, Jessica. We got him. Steam Knight ain't nothing. Sorry, Steam Knight, sir. You done. You toasted and posted.
Keep quiet.
I'll be careful.
Need speed to succeed. Awaiting orders.
You can't stop me.
Roger, Wilco. Don't come any closer. Please give your orders. How's that?
There we go.
Relax.
I wasn't supposed to plant you into the soil to grow.
Oh, he
anew.
toast. Bye-bye, Steam Knight. 44. All right, so these are our last ones.
I've got an
Hey,
idea.
go ahead.
You think you're a
Have at
better
'em.
robber than
Toast.
me?
That boss fight is just really ridiculously easy, but I get that it wasn't intended to be some extremely tough thing. It was meant to be more of a story thing that was overcome. So I don't know. Is what it is. Vina, I don't like this story. The king who found no peace in his eternal rest upon the throne, and the hero who laid down her crown. The story's over, but has anything really changed? You and King Alistair both wanted to make Victoria better, but in the end... Diane takes a hard swig from the bottle. The burning liquor stings, coaxing more tears from her already swollen eyes. If the king couldn't do it, then what hope do we have? How can we possibly change anything? But the story's not over yet, Diane. I had also believed it would all end when the king found peace, but then someone unexpected appeared. Should I even ask what brings you here? A white figure emerges from the shadows behind the throne. Faint glimpses of that fairy can be seen in so many of Victoria's legends. Power, intrigue, destiny, dreams coming true throughout the centuries-old tales. She seems to possess different powers, yet no one can say for certain which one is truly her. Vina, who did you see? I saw the unicorn. Gundam unicorn? Sorry. Anyways. Vina, you far exceeded my expectations. You've shown me new possibilities. Clavicia. Put down your hammer. I am not your enemy. We fought side by side once, didn't we? Who are you, Unicorn? A tailor's daughter. A leader of the Self-Salvation Corps. A witness to Victoria. Of course, many old men, even as they faced death, insisted on calling me the nation's sentinel in their history books. Wishful thinking, I suppose. Over the hundreds of years I've remained in Victoria, I've assumed and later erased countless identities, but at present, I am Clavicia. In short, I am your friend, one sincerely pleased by all you've achieved. Does this answer satisfy you, Vina? Another one of the long-lived. You deceived every ally in the Self-Salvation Corps as well as all of Rhodes Island. Deceived? I've never deceived anyone. Everyone has their desires. I merely fulfill them. Ordinary people tormented by Sarkaz's bloodshed wanted to survive, so I led the Self-Salvation Corps to find a way out. Ancient families, mired in power struggles, feared annihilation in the Empire's whirlpool, so I eliminated every threat to the continuation of the ducal lineage. Frederick III hoped Victoria wouldn't fall into chaos beneath the Red Dragon's shadow. I could grant that wish, too. Excuse me. So now you've come to me. Alexandrina, daughter of Alistair. Why would you think I'm only just noticing you now? Vina, history is like a sailing ship, and you are all the ones who steer its course. Since you wish to change Victoria, I can help you. What role would you assume to realize your ideals? You could be a king, a speaker, or even the sole leader of the Exemplars. Any of these titles are yours to choose. Vina, I must say, yours isn't a new story. I've read far too many like it in the old shops. In the end, the hero always accepts the fairy's gift. So in the end, you chose the role of speaker? No, Diane, I chose nothing. For hundreds of years, the unicorn has chosen the heroes, and the heroes have merely chosen their boons. But why? Why? Yes. Why did I have to choose her? Why are you laughing, Vina? Do you hear that sound outside? They're cheering for victory and for Victoria. Many of them do not have grand ambitions. You don't think of protecting anyone. Some of them would not even share a piece of bread with a starving man. Yet they are still willing to risk their lives for even the smallest sliver of hope. They are my Victoria. I like those fools, and I'm willing to look out for them. And you, Clavicia, have no right to make me choose something I've been doing all along. You'd best leave unless you don't mind it getting awkward. Siege! You're a fool too, Alexandrina, just like your father. Send them a message for me. Tell them the tailor's daughter is dead. I have fulfilled their wishes. Siege, I got the crawler in here to back you up. We've been waiting outside for you forever. We were afraid something happened to you. It's been taken care of. Thank you, Feist. Huh? Come on then. Aren't they still waiting for us? This battle must end now. That's the end of the story, Diane. Diane? The condemned soldier has finished the last drop of alcohol and is sound asleep. Diane wanted to drink herself into a stupor. Vina has finished telling her story, but Diane cannot bring herself to face her own ending. She wanted to drink herself into a dream in which even death could not catch up to her. She gets her wish. I'm sorry, Diane. I am not worthy of being a monarch. I'm not even sure I'm qualified to serve as a speaker. Besides, this war has changed many things. Old beliefs have been shattered, and we are striving to rebuild our lives amidst the imminent threat of destruction. I believe that soon a great transformation will begin in Londinium and sweep across all of Victoria. I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but I am certain of one thing. Now that we've found the courage to face adversity, why should we ever return to the past? Victoria no longer needs a monarch, Diane. Sweet dreams. On the eve of her march to the gallows, the drunken soldier sleeps the most peaceful sleep of her life. She dreams of the king's coronation. She dreams of the factory in her hometown, the whistle blowing to signal the end of the workday, as the workers shake off their hats and step out through the factory gates. Then she soars into the sky and sees Londinium gliding across the mist-covered verdant earth. She dreams of Victoria. She is singing her song. May the vast lands, they keep our king, his people and all his well-willing, and give them grace without ending. Then may we call and savely sing, Victoria, give thanks for our home. Speaker's Office, December 26th, 1098, 3:58 p.m. Vina, I can't believe it. The graffiti on the gym walls is still there. Look at this one. Morgan painted it after dreaming of being a famous artist. Oh, right. Look at this photo. The sign on the movie theater has been nailed back up. And look, there are two dumb-looking foul beasts perched on top of it. Norport is in much better shape than the last time we saw it. I can't wait to go back and see it with my own eyes. Uh-huh. So where do these photos come from? The envelope only had the photos, no signature, but plenty of people have joined the engineering team to help rebuild our home. Some of them are old friends from Norport. Oh, there are 2 videotapes in here, too. They're just some old worn-out movies, but hey, Delphine, you loved watching bad movies, don't you? Here you go. Thank you. Vina, are you okay? You seem a bit distracted. Are you all going back? Why the serious look? We're just heading home early to do some housekeeping. Morgan, you were more excited than anyone when we said we were going home. Or am I missing something? How about you, Dagda? I'll go lend them a hand. There's not much I can help with here, Vina. The Knights of the Tower Museum is coming along smoothly. My wish has been fulfilled. All right. Vina, actually, we could still... The bell tolls. It's 4 o'clock, Vina. I know. We can set out now. Do you want to go see Diane? No, I have a meeting with Parliament and the Dukes. Oh. Vina, those protesters outside. I'll handle them personally. I know their concerns go beyond just Diane. They've been waiting a long time for a king. Huh. Well, that's definitely something the Glasgow gang can't meddle in. Morgan. All right. We'll head back and tidy up. You know, Norport is better than I expected, but not by much. We'll be waiting for you, Vina. Vina, you could ask them to stay. Of course, I'd love for the Glasgow gang to stay together, but Uchtrig isn't their home. Besides, just take a listen. There are plenty of people outside waiting for my response. But before I address them, I intend to bring back more than just empty promises from the Dukes. Vina, Parliament has done more than just make empty promises. They've helped revive our industries, restore order, resettle those affected by the war. Tell me, Delphine, does everyone now have an equal right to a decent life? I need to show them that even without a king, we can prove this nation's potential to any doubters. Let's go. I don't want to be late for the meeting with the dukes. Should sing something. Sing what? Any song will do, as long as it's not that blasted Octoreg carol. Like the song Hannah hums every time she steps out of the ring. Hannah's a star, knocking them down one by one, round after round. Stuff it! I don't do that anymore. Besides, didn't you all say the song I made up to cheer Vina was better? Oh please, if I remember, you just replaced all the name in Dagda's favorite song to Vina, right? I wonder if Vina even remembers something that silly. Of course she does. I know she mustn't have forgotten, it's just... Forget it. She said it best herself. Looking forward is what really matters. And there's still a long road ahead, isn't there? That day, we didn't take a detour to watch Diane's end, and we didn't listen to any radio broadcasts. I heard her oropathy was so bad that they had to separate her to prevent any incidents. To think that her last shred of dignity came from oropathy. I've stopped trying to make sense of these things, as we left central Londinium and caught sight of the factories of Norport. I knew we were home. Cinesolid Parliamentary Chamber. Vina, are you not attending the execution? They're relying on you to calm the many protesters there should things take an unfortunate turn. My good Earl of March, I'm not that indispensable. Besides, the defense forces are already maintaining order on site, and several MPs are there to oversee the proceedings. They don't need me. Diane Weber truly was a hero. Shame, really. She didn't do anything wrong. Alexandrina, you've managed this matter well, but you need to be more heavy-handed. You're too concerned with dissenting voices, most of which don't matter.
Madam Speaker, why not let us shield you from the storm until Londinium's parliament fully matures? Wellington's stance remains ambiguous. The Windermere domain is simmering with unrest, and the Duke of Ashworth continues to keep a low profile as always. If the Speaker requires assistance, we wouldn't dare refuse. We must secure Victoria's future.
Very well, since you've offered, I won't hesitate to accept.
She called the bluff.
Your Graces, you are undoubtedly aware of the dire situation with the infected within the city. I must insist that you promptly reopen the supply route you have kept closed for over a month under the guise of ensuring safety. Return the medicine and supplies we've already paid for. Of course, if you're still concerned, the defense forces can escort the shipment and clear out the bandits along the way.
She's calling bluffs. Of course, those are minor issues. Now how about my proposal for forming and training infected fighting squads?
I understand you're considering forming infected units in your own territory and want us to test its feasibility. That's fine, but I insist that the safety of the soldiers remain a priority. I'll make all the data available to you, of course, and to every other Duke. After all, this has critical implications for the future of strength of Victoria, doesn't it?
This is no simple matter, Madam Speaker. In truth, it has given me quite a headache. I'll be waiting eagerly for some good news from you.
As for your Grace, Duke of Castor, the Trilby Asters soon should be delivering an invitation. After all these years, Londinium will finally reopen diplomatic channels with foreign envoys. This time, in the name of Victoria, I trust you all will be in attendance when the time comes. But you'd best pray that Londinium presents herself in a form you can be proud of. I'll consider this a provocation, Alexandrina. For the moment you deliberately blocked Londinium from contacting other nations after the war, you've been provoking Parliament. You call it protection. Where I'm from, we have another word for it. Kidnapping. Unfortunately for you, we always have our ways of reaching those whom we want. Oh, Vina, is it my turn to negotiate now? No, Earl of March, we have nothing to discuss, and certainly no need to be friends. I'm afraid that's not for you to decide. Whatever your intentions may be, Londinium's affairs are none of Columbia's business. It seems you've found what you need to refuse any deals with me. All I have is a few photos. Surely you're aware of what's hidden beneath Londinium, right? Oh? Vina, it seems you've managed to find yourself some leverage. Alexandrina, I admire your candor. But I must remind you, you're the Speaker of Parliament now, not just some street thug with the Glasgow gang. Well, do you know how we used to keep corrupt cops away back in Norport? Either everyone pretends nothing happened and keeps things as they are, or we expose all their dirty laundry and everyone goes down in flames. It worked every time. And I'm sure your graces understand that it has always been Victoria who has kept you safe, not the other way around. I believe your grace has even said something of a similar nature before. Alexandrina, I'm starting to doubt our decision of choosing you as speaker. You're mistaken. The decision was mine all along, not yours. I know your schedules are packed, so let's not digress anymore. I have a long list of things to discuss with you. Parliament seats, medical purchases, military reform, private communication lines, supply routes, aid for reconstruction. So let's not waste time. Of course, you're free to continue arguing with me. Don't worry, this time my sword won't be on your necks.
Good for her for standing up to the bastards.
She's coming! Everyone, get over here! If we can make the speaker hear us, we can save that poor soldier's life! On the street, the eagerly awaiting crowd surrounds Vina, who stands alone. She knows they are all waiting for her answer. You've heard us! That innocent hero doesn't deserve this fate! It's not too late to change your mind! Sorry. I have nothing to say with regard to Diane. The Parliament has decided. As its speaker, I stand by its decision. Everyone, please disperse. Then again, if you absolutely insist on a resolution, you're welcome to stay. Just now, I reclaimed many things from the visiting dukes. Things that rightfully belong to us and are crucial to our future. I will tell you about each of these things one by one. This is the only matter I'll be addressing. The sounds of protest begin to subside. While most await the outcome of the meeting, a few discontented voices still rise from the crowd. Is there really nothing that could be done for that poor soul? But why? This isn't something that needs explaining. Do you want the speaker to go back on her word? If we start bending the rules now, the new laws passed by Parliament won't be worth the paper they're printed on. Catherine, what brings you here? Some old friends passing by saw the protest and worried things might get out of hand, so they asked me to see if I could help. As luck would have it, quite a few workers just got off their shifts, heard about it, and came to support you. Take a look. As more and more workers gathered around, they wave at Vina and spot familiar friends and family members among the protesters. Conversations begin to ripple through the crowd, and the streets suddenly come alive with activity. Shearer.
Looks like we're a bit late.
Lieutenant, aren't you supposed to be waiting at the sanatorium for your departure?
Delphine told me about your situation. I wasn't planning to come, but once the others at the sanatorium found out, they insisted on coming to see who was causing you trouble this time. I couldn't stop them, so here we are.
A column of soldiers, marching in perfect formation and singing, approaches the congested crowd. The noise instantly dies down as people instinctively make way for the soldiers, who march up to stand in front of Vina, forming a barrier between her and the protesters.
Vina, we all knew you went to negotiate with the Dukes today to fight for us. We're not about to let you be humiliated in front of the Dukes today. We might not be ready for another battle, but we'll win anyone in numbers.
Thank you, all of you. Everyone, come quick! I think they're over here! A group of rowdy children fearlessly push through the crowd, squeezing their way right up to Vina. It's really you! You know me. Of course! We've all heard your story. The great hero of the Exemplars, our very own speaker. I've made so many new friends recently. They're all people who walked back to Londinium with you. Excuse me. They told me you would definitely recognize them. Take a look. Hello, Vina. Annie. And there's Annabella. Oh, Jones, you're here too. I guess they were telling the truth then. But why have you come? We ran into this lady with really tan skin. She said you might run into trouble and told us to come help you. Did we actually help? Of course you did. Thank you, Morgan. More and more people gather in front of the steps, while those who had been protesting for Diane start to quiet down. Phew. She thinks about everything that has happened over the past few days. She thinks about the drunken Diane, the departing Glasgow gang, and the stolen crown. Bloody hell. Vina relaxes, sitting down on the steps and gazing at the fiery red sky. The retired soldiers sit as well, huddling with the other citizens around Vina. Let's all take a break, okay? Can I ask you something? Will we ever have a king again? I don't know, but not having a king might not be such a bad thing. Why is that? You'll understand when you grow up. Huh? What do you think? Will this be good or bad for Victoria? It's still too early to tell. If we have to accept the dawn of a new era, then all we need to change the way we think to keep up. And we all need to change the way we think to keep up. Parliament regulated by the people, no more individual authority, no king. That's a first in Victorian history. Even I have to admit, she may well be biting off more than she can chew. Catherine glances at the speaker, who is sitting on the steps without her expected grace, and can't help but wonder. Vina is surrounded by the children. They all smile and laugh together. Every so often, she raises her voice to share jokes about the dukes or what she managed to wrestle from the dukes, things that belong to the people. The sunset's warm light bathes her figure before slowly fading as the time passes. I'd say the days ahead will only get better. She breathes out a ring of smoke, watching as the thin wisps drift away into the dying light. Parliament has passed a resolution. The crown will be placed on the throne in the Palace of Westhalig, guarded around the clock by the defense forces. Until a suitable candidate for the throne is identified, the crown will be guarded by Parliament. Once a candidate is chosen, a nationwide referendum will be conducted under parliamentary review and supervision to finalize the coronation. Additionally, Parliament will soon announce decisions regarding the distribution of living supplies and other public welfare matters. Parliamentary supervision. These meetings are truly exhausting. I much prefer settling matters at a grand banquet. At least there's wine when my lips are parched. Sir Davis is certainly taking a sweet time fetching the wine. Your Grace, Duke of Castor, where are you headed next? You already know the answer, so why pretend to ask? Getting the news from you is quicker than waiting for Wellington's spies to report back. So how about you, Eleanor? Your Grace, we're hardly close enough to be exchanging warm farewells. Your words wound me, Eleanor. I suppose I'll have to present a fine bottle of wine on my next visit to Old Normandy and ask him to put in a good word about me to you. Your carriage has arrived, sir. Allow me to get the door for you. Much obliged, Earl of March. And remember, we are all Victorians after all. Of course. Oh, these dukes will get their comeuppance, that's for sure. It's been so long since I last heard these bells. The sound brings back memories. This guy's like shovel chin scares me. Anyways, Your Grace, I've brought you one of the finest wines from our cellar. Even those Sarkaz devils couldn't sniff this one out after they took my estate. Sir Davis, you are a man of rare wit. Rest assured, there will always be a place for you in the Gododin territories. The Duke of Gododin takes a sip of the wine and turns to make a remark, but then suddenly freezes. He's confronted with a stunning sight. The sun has set. The crimson sun sinks slowly, as though setting the entire city ablaze. The scars the Sarkaz had torn into the city stand out even more vividly in the evening glow, as if they are still bleeding. Achoo! The winter sunset truly shows no mercy. Much like the speaker's attitude towards us, I suppose. I could send someone to deliver a few sets of winter clothing for your grace. Take care of yourself. Victoria isn't ready to do without you just yet. Many thanks. After all, we can't very well go before Wellington, can we? Why the sudden melancholy, your graces? I find this sunset rather breathtaking. Day fades into night and night into day. How often do we get to witness such a sight? Londinium's thick fog and heavy clouds rarely part like this. Eleanor, back in the day, the lads at school would always joke that it was the sun that had to follow behind Londinium.
It would rise as we please, and never set if we willed it. Now, though, she has to go full speed just to barely keep up with the setting sun. That thought keeps me awake at night. Day or night, sunset or sunrise, only Londinium can be Victoria's capital. Earl of March, remember my words. Droll, very droll indeed. Ha! The sun really does move. Another bell tolls. More black-feathered foul beasts stir and take the skies over the city, circling before flying through the steam towards the setting sun. As the sun dips out of sight, the glow of the twin moons becomes ever clearer. Night approaches.
Good. I
The
had
miracle
no idea you were so
elected
clever
one
and
other
learned.
medal.
I was going to ask you help me make my atang, but with such a good head on your shoulders,
We'll check those
I'm
medals
feeling a little
after
bad
this.
now.
Let's do the story. There will come a day that you, Vina, will read the words I wrote. Streets of Norport, December 26, 1098. How'd things go on your end, Dagda? Mr. Lane's still alive, but he's got a busted leg. His sworn brother didn't make it. Though, I tried asking some old friends. None of them know when that brother passed away exactly. Might have been when trying to escape Norport. Might have been some Sarkaz at the end of their tether during the Allied counterattack. Did you manage to see Mr. Lane himself? I did. He works at the port now. He didn't bring up the old days, and he avoided talking about his crew. But he thinks that now he's living a good life. Bloody hell! I strolled around one of the factories we used to look after. It's full of little punks now. None of these youngsters have even heard of us, Glasgow gang. That pack deserves a right trashing. Did you swing by the old restaurant we always went to? Torn down. Parliament sent some men over to get in touch with all the old shopkeepers. Anything so run down it couldn't be fixed up and whose owner was missing was slated to be torn down and rebuilt. The pub on Sunset Street, Paul's Bar, the magazine stall that Runt from Cashmere's ran. They're all gone. Hannah. I checked out that public cemetery they were talking about too. I couldn't find McLaren or... Damn it. Why don't these graves have names on them? Stuff me. Can't believe you caught me crying. Let's head home already. Don't want to leave Morgan waiting. I thought the gym was going to be a rougher sight. Thank you. Looks to me like you've been taking care of the place this whole time. I thought if you were still alive, you'd be coming back sooner or later. Doesn't matter how you look at it. I'm still part of the Glasgow gang. You didn't get on Duke Windermere's ship with us back then. I wasn't so far gone that I needed saving by the Dukes. But I gotta admit, I was being a right fool back then. After all that, I took some of the crew out to fight some devils hanging around Norport. Ended up hearing about the exemplars from them. We pulled off some crazy stunts I could never dream of. An army. When the battle outside was in total chaos, some of the gang helped out in the front line with me. But there wasn't much we could do. All I got in the end were a few cuts and bruises. You're infected too? Yep. Heard the same happened to Indra after she took a bad scrape on the battlefield not too long ago. She's real lucky she had friends like you there with her. Morgan stares blankly ahead. She'd never considered that problem. Not even Indra herself had. No, that ain't right. Why do I feel all funny hearing you say that? Though I gotta admit, I'm not sure what's not right about what you said. Whatever you say. Anyway, if you ever get the chance, tell Siege I said sorry. If you stick around, you could tell her yourself. My Glasgow gang's long gone. Since you're coming back, it's only right that I head out. Did Delphine not come back with you? She's standing by Vina's side. Sounds like you lot had a squabble too. I heard about her mum from a broadcast. Doesn't matter who she might be, at least she's got some nerve. Where are you headed off to next? Our port needs more hands to rebuild it, and the port's busy shuttling in goods from outside all day every day. Me and my crew are gonna keep an eye out on it. And then Then I'll head into Central to bash in some merchant bastard's head. That's only a maybe. Norport's changed, Morgan. The folks I know are gone, and the shops too. There's some new gang of brats that's popped up. Don't know their arse from their elbow yet. They're still trying to fight for dominance. Anyway, I'm giving the gym back to you lot. Parliament talked a big game in that broadcast of theirs. I talked it over with some of the boys. We'll wait a spell, then head over to some other dukedom to see what's what. We'll find a new turf. A new turf, a new beginning. I'll need some time to forget a few things.
Morgan, was that Kador leaving just now? Yep. Came to say goodbye and decided to hand his back to us while he was at it. She pulls out a butterfly knife from her pocket. It's badly scratched, but the emblem of the Glasgow gang can still be clearly seen. Baird's butterfly knife. Hannah would recognize it anywhere. It was her who insisted on engraving that emblem once she beat Baird after all. Kador found it on the body of a cleaner. He couldn't find Baird herself, though. I went there, too. All I found was some stuff on the wall I didn't get. It's almost all gone. But with all the rain, but I'm sure she was there. I saw her handwriting. I hope so, too. I hope so, too. What did Baird hope for? We thought about it long and hard, but we were never able to make sense of it. Her wishes had already been washed back into Norport's soil by the rain. We decided not to dwell on it much longer. We never could guess her last little secret. She's definitely having a good laugh at us right now. I remember that whenever we went to the video shop, Baird hated weepy scenes about grieving the most. Yeah, she never thought death was worth being all that sad for. Pass the knife to me. I'll think of a way to hang it up on the wall. Then I'll go get some drinks to celebrate us coming home and a toast to Baird. Should we wait for Vina? She ain't got the time to come. But just in case. And we'll hold off right before we get completely pissed, Hannah. Booze waits for no man. That day, without having to say a word on the matter, we all drank our drinks real slow. We were waiting for one more person. It seems there was a lot of chit-chat going on that day. Not that we remember any of it after the hangover. All I remember is that Hannah and I got in a fight, and Dagda's brow got itself another scar. Why? None of us knew. If Vina were there, it'll all be fine. She always stayed the most sober out of all of us, and she'd remember for us. But she never showed up that day. I dragged the body back, boss. But will this really be okay? I mean, snatching away the corpse of a condemned criminal from right under Parliament's nose. Did you really think you could take that away without some silent approval from above? What of the Colombian? He's not in the best of moods. Boss, do we really need him to carry these goods? What if... Nilskar says nothing. The mercenary sighs. All right, I get it. Look, boss, I'm not trying to make you mad, but ever since Parliament made a move on us, everyone's been on edge. It doesn't concern you lot. I'll handle the Colombian. Felicio, I presume I don't need to introduce myself. Nilskar, I've heard about you. Good, no need to waste words then. I need you to see this batch of goods out of Londinium safely. You will, of course, receive payment. I can send this corpse along with you. Leave the city and go as far away from it as you can. Her name is Diane Milskar. Who she is isn't important to me. What's important is that she doesn't show her face again in Londinium. Did they save her? You call this payment? Making someone who's just got home leave again? Felicio, you are well aware she cannot stay in the city. As far as everyone is concerned, she is dead, hanged from the gallows.
Vina made a mistake. So long as this person is alive and within the city, sooner or later someone is going to use her as a knife to stab Vina in the back. She really must learn to be more decisive. You know the condition of her infection better than I do, Alicio. She doesn't have long. You're welcome to refuse, of course, but I will still help Vina settle this matter in my own way. I know your story, Milscar, or rather, Lady Allerdale Cumberland. There's a lot of versions of it out there, but they all agree you really did fit with the title of Cumberland, the Ever on High, once upon a time. Fine, I'll get Diane out of here. I can take better care of her back in Columbia. Happy? You're a good man, Alicio. She's lucky to have made a friend in you. Get ready. You could be leaving at any time. Either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Did you ever think you'd turn out this way? Why ask just me? Countless heroes lived through the war, from the most radiant of them to those that none remember. I too am curious as to how they will change in the face of reality. They saved Diane. And now Alicia is going to smuggle her out into Columbia. That's awesome. That's crazy. That's awesome. I kind of forgot about the whole Milscar thing because there was the effort to wrap that up and to apprehend her, but nothing ever came of it. So that's interesting, to say the least. Lying down amidst the meadow, the soldier senses a slight itch. The cold wind blows at the stalks of grass, and their tips tickle her face. Is this what the land of the dead is like? She opens her eyes and sees someone most unexpected. What? You're awake. It's me, Alicio. You shouldn't just go off on your own to do dangerous stuff without a word, Diane. I remember standing atop the gallows. You're dead, at least to those who witnessed the execution. Before we left, I asked the people at Rhodes Island to give you the once-over. It's not looking too good. A lot of your major organs have already begun to crystallize. In other words, Originium is replacing those organs. So, I'm not dead. Am I lucky or unlucky? I'm not sure if the speaker knew about this beforehand. So it was Vina who let me go? That's rather foolish of her. To tell you the truth, I really don't get some of you people. Sorry, Diane. I'm afraid you can't go back to Londinium. Only now does she realize they are no longer in Londinium. She sees the telltale giant tracks laid down by the nomadic city, not too far off in the distance. Just ahead of them, Sarkaz's children run around in the meadow, waving at her as they pass. Most displaced Sarkaz have lost the light in their eyes to confusion. They can go anywhere, but nowhere can they call home. I'll be taking you to Columbia, Diane. I might be able to do more for you there. All right, then. Columbia, eh? I still remember saying that if I get the chance, I'd love to see the place you keep talking about. How far are we from Columbia, Alicia? Well, still very far away. Let me get out my map. Will I be able to make it there in my condition? Walking the whole way? I see. I see. Could you promise me one thing, Alicia? I know what you're going to ask, Diane. When the day comes, I'll bring you home. I'll bring you back to Londinium. I'm rather curious myself as to how much the city would have changed by the time we return. Day we went back to the gym and got drunk, I had a dream. In that dream, there was a tomb, all dressed up to the nines. Our names were carved onto the plaques inside it. Morgan, Kate Morgan. Indra, Hannah Jackson. Dagda, Isabel Montag. Baird, Bridget Lucan. Outside the tomb, there was a blazing carriage, and atop it sat a golden lion. He was calling my name. Vina Victoria. Vina? A blanket? Who put this blanket on me? My head hurts real bad. What time is it? Morgan, didn't I tell you not to drink like a sodding wino all the time? Wino? Wino? Huh, considering how wild Hannah and the rest can get, shouldn't you be looking after them? Eh? Vina? Vina!
Morgan nimbly launches herself out of the sofa, leaping over the short table to throw herself at Vina. Vina, you came over! I thought... You thought what? Why didn't you wake me, Hannah? Weren't you yapping and yowling yesterday about how she definitely wasn't coming? Look at you. You turned out the most excited out of all of us. No, I'm not. Stubborn prick. Quiet down, Morgan. Dagda's still asleep. The one resting her head atop Indra's lap twitches her ears, still lost within a lovely drunken dream. Seems like Dagda drank the most out of you lot. I tidied up a lot of empty bottles. She must have been in a real rotten mood, Vina. Sorry. I just hope I'm not too late. Well, of course you're not. Wasn't what you said yesterday, Morgan. Shut it, Hannah. Welcome home, Vina. So she still came back home after all. I was really hoping to pop in earlier, but there's simply far too much to handle over at Parliament. Then how'd you... I'm afraid I've given Horn another headache to deal with. I suspect she'll only just have discovered I slipped away. Oh my. She snuck out. Then does that mean you need to head back? I can't run away from my responsibilities. But I owe you all an apology. Vina, you don't need to... Siege? Vina! How long have I been asleep? Relax, Vina's only just arrived back. The knife hanging on the wall. It's hers. Kador brought it back. Kador. Vina never brought up having to head back the whole day. But we all knew that the Siege Vina, the boss of the Glasgow gang, the ever-victorious king of the Slobberknocker, and one of my best friends, could leave us at any moment. So I was loath to lose a single moment where I could tell Vina about all the changes in Norport that she hadn't had the chance to see yet. Kador, Mr. Lane, the video shop, the reworked port, the rebuilt stores, a handful of old friends who rushed home after hearing the news. Of course, who could forget the inexperienced little buggers who wanted to take over our gym? After Vina beat them all to Kingdom Come with a smile on her face, they apologized by the way of a few cartons of beer and said they wanted to join us. Seems like Norport's forgotten about us, but I don't think that's such a bad thing. The war really was over. Ooh, old train. Do you still remember this place? Why don't we get back to our little games? See who's the fastest this time around. Before Vina has even finished speaking, Indra has already begun to set off. Hannah, you lousy cheat! She didn't say nothing about a countdown. I'm still the champ here. You've gotten slower ever since your injury, Hannah. Say that after you've caught up. What? What's going on? Wait for me! Don't fall behind, Delphine. Follow me. Hear that, Del? You're a real slowpoke. Several figures speed through the streets, and a few workers heading home after work give an inquisitive glance at the brash crew. They can't quite seem to remember who this gang is. Must be another bunch of outsiders just arrived at Norport, maybe. High above the gaps between the factories, the Glasgow gang returned to a favorite spot of theirs. Here they can look down upon the squatting factories and look out at the Shard's pointed peak over its central. It was here that they started, and it was here that they left home. After a long period of wandering about, they have finally returned to this familiar place. But I left a glass for Baird. Surely you don't want a tipple, Dagda? No, thank you. I'm not going to embarrass myself in front of Vina again. I'll give your share to her then. Just fruit juice for you, Del? Don't call me that. I'm still not too used to alcohol. Suit yourself. I'll keep watch over you all. Hell yeah, finally the part where we can start bloody drinking. To Baird, to the Glasgow gang. To Baird, to the Glasgow gang. to Rhodes Island, to the Exemplars, to everyone who fought in the war, and to all those who risked their lives coming home, to all those who live and who left, to all those still by our side, to all those who shed blood and tears, to all those who struggle in darkness and in pain, to Victoria. To Victoria! There is no need for sorrow. The living engrave the moment in their memories, while those who left leave behind their hopes and dreams. The foul beasts croon as they spiral overhead, echoing their words. You heading off too, Delphine? Only for a short while. I need to go back to Lincardin. Shira will come along to recuperate. If you ever get real fed up with those lousy bastards, you can always come back here. This is your home, too. Of course I will. I promised Vina, after all. If there's ever a day where you feel like it's all too much for you, Vina, I'll come back. I think I can handle it. I hope the Londiniers can live in peace and happiness, and I hope that everyone can live their best lives. It's what they deserve. Everyone should be like us, smiling without a tear in sight or an empty belly to be heard. I'm not going to let everything we've accomplished go to waste. If someone tries to take it from us, I'll be fighting back. Just like how we looked after this place back then. Vina, Alexandrina, either's fine. There's no difference the way I see it, no? Blech. If Baird were here, that's what she'd want me to do. You're right, Vina. I really do hope so. To the Glasgow gang, to all of you. Welcome home, everyone. Vina left us on the morning of the day after. She didn't let us see her off. Maybe she didn't want to wake us. In truth, we were all awake. I watched her change into those clothes I was never fond of and walk off on her lonesome towards central Londinium. I hope Vina managed to get a real good night's sleep. The best she's had in a long while. After all, it's only when she's at home that she doesn't need to think about anything. I spent the entire night writing down everything that happened the day Vina came home, no matter how big or small. I believe there will come a day that you, Vina, will read these words I wrote down. They might not be of too much use, but they can help you remember some of the more easily forgotten things. Vina, do you still remember that dream I wrote about earlier? In that dream, there was a tomb, all dressed up to the nines. Our names were carved onto the plaques inside it. Outside the tomb, there was a blazing carriage, and atop it sat a golden lion. He was calling my name. Vina Victoria. I dreamt I was you. I dreamt of a time I was all old and withered, some afternoon, decades after I lost touch with my Glasgow friends. I walked into the tomb that Siege built for the gang. I cherish that unforgettable memory that is no longer mine. I cherish the tale that started in Norport. Vina, from the day you put on those clothes, I knew. In the end, you walk alone. You have no choice but to walk alone. I'm sorry, there's no way for us to help you or to stay by your side, but I wanted to let you know we will always be here. The Glasgow gang will always be here. To you, Vina Victoria. The Memoir of Alexandrina by Kate Morgan. Huh. Wow. What an ending. A bit emotional there. Quite something, that's for sure. So, but yeah. So go ahead and wrap things up now.
Ciao, Doctor.
Well, what an ending. I didn't expect to get really emotional over that, but that was something. It was something different, and in the end, it's kind of crazy to sit and to think what the implications are and how this affects not just Victoria or Londinium or, any of those individual places, Norport or Octarig or wherever you want to go. Parliament itself, the people, the factories, the workers, Milscar and her group, and so on and so forth. It just feels like that where there was a lot of dissent amongst the people because nobody really knew the direction things were going. And then to top it off, you had, granted, as us being an outsider viewing this whole taking place, not everybody knew these intermakings of everything going on, but like you have the people, the dissenting people that are, worried, and they're trying to trust in Vina, but they don't know what to do. She's not sure of herself and of where to go and what direction to take things. But then you also have people who are trying to, I don't know if corrupt is the right word, but trying to guide the way they believe that things should be going in the Dukes being the ones who are trying to corrupt her, trying to take what they believe should be done for Victoria and Londinium and whatnot. And at the same time, they're the same people that wouldn't bat an eye if everything disappeared, if Londinium disappeared. As long as it didn't affect them, they didn't care. But she was trusting in the rebuild of Parliament, and she was trusting in everything moving forward to produce a newer, stronger Londinium, and in turn, a newer and stronger Victoria. And in doing so, she questioned herself many times. Vina questioned herself, and she doubted so much, even with her friends by her side. But in the end, she was able to overcome it. And it was interesting that seeing that, like, the boss fight and everything was actually just a flashback. But that flashback itself helped her to find her resolve in dealing with that, and in dealing with Diane's execution. She had no other choice but to find her resolve, and she did in the end. She was able to confront the Dukes and tell them off and say, no, I'm not following your bullshit. I am my own person. And Victoria needs strength. Victoria needs to be properly taken care of and put first and foremost. And you guys don't want to do that. You guys are only after your own personal gain. You are only after your own machinations and what you want and what you think should happen. We're not doing it that way. We're doing what's best for Victoria. If you don't like it, you can get the hell out. Otherwise, you can sit here and negotiate these things with me, and these are what the people need. And the fact that she stood up for everybody in that spoke volumes of how much she loves Victoria, despite not wanting to inherit the monarchy, not wanting to follow in her father's footsteps, but still knowing what her position is and that she could if she wanted to. She chose her own path. She forged forward, and she chose to do what's best for Victoria and her people. And then you could see it as she stepped out there of Parliament, and the people surrounding wanted her attention, and they wanted to protest for Diane. But between Catherine and the children and Shearer and others showing up, and her words, they were able to quell that protest. And the people still weren't sure, but they came to understand why the decision had to be. And thankfully, in the end, even though that's a separate thing, Diane still managed to. She cheated death in a way. She died officially in front of everybody. But thanks to Milscar and her working behind the scenes, she was able to get her out of there, and Alicio is taking her back to Columbia, and hopefully she makes it. Hopefully. He's able to get her back. But in the end, Siege, Vina, Alexandrina, whatever you want to call her, sat there on the steps of Parliament, leading her people and telling them, you don't need a monarch. You guys need yourselves. I will do my best to fight for you and to take back what you deserve and to give you back what you deserve. And these are the things that I just tore away from the Dukes to give back to you. But you don't need a king. You need each other. We need Victoria, and we need Victoria to be stronger than ever, and it starts with you, the people. But in the end, the one thing, that unity amongst the people, amongst everybody, was something that also made her realize that she needed people. She needed those that she cared about the most. So she did. She disappeared without Horn knowing, without anybody else knowing. She went back to see her family, her friends, her best friends in the world, the Glasgow gang, her family, and spent a night with them, having a blast like the good old times, cherishing memories, and thinking of a lot. Remembering not just who she is, but that those people will be there for her whenever she needs, just as she would be there for them whenever they need. And that their strength and their bond can never be broken by anybody, no matter what. And that in itself is just one of those moments that in some cases, like I wish I had that, you know? I have my family, I have people in my life, but I wish I had friends like that I could count on, that I could go see whenever, that I had a bond like that with that would never be breakable, and that when I'm at my worst, they're there for me, and I could be there for them for the same thing. And it's one of those things where no matter what the distance is between them, the fact that she's in Londinium, way off at Parliament and doing her job as speaker, and the Glasgow gang's way back in Norport at their boxing gym and taking their turf and all that, no matter the distance, they're always going to be there for each other. And that sweetens things so much more and shows the strength of that bond and that resolve with them all. I think it was a really good ending and a good story, because there was a lot of flashback, but a lot of things that also wrapped up some plot points and things that were at the end of the first, or the end of chapter 14, I should say. At the end of the war, we got to see it through their eyes here, and really the true ending, and chasing the Sarkaz out and dealing with the Witch King, finding out that, or not the Witch King, the Nazir King, and finding out that the Nazir King is actually dead, is actually gone. The military commission of the Sarkaz is no more. There is nothing left to them. It's so interesting to see some more little details like that come out. But it's just like the Glasgow gang said. When she came home, they finally knew. The war was over. And there's a lot of ways where you could say, oh, it was this day that it ended. And it was then when, you know, it ended. When they tore down the banners is when the war truly ended, and so on and so forth. But for them, their war continued. Their war wasn't just about the fighting on the battlefield, and it not always is. There's a lot of the political things that happen in the back. There's a lot of the things that linger on someone's mind and in someone's person. Their being, the things that happen around them. That is where things tend to skew that ending and that true, like, when does it actually end? And for them, it was different. That said, though, it was a very good ending and a very interesting addition to Siege's character, because, you know, we knew some things about her before, and we knew some things from the main story, and of course from her. For anybody that reads, you know, the operator logs and all that stuff in the game and the story and stuff, there's stuff that we know about her, and we got to see more of her, but this just helped to build her character and to build that bond between her and the Glasgow gang more, or rather, not so much build it, but show it to us, show how it truly is and how it was built. And it was very heartwarming. I liked it. So that's it for this story. And we'll come back and do one more episode when these EX stages release. We'll complete them for you guys. And hopefully you enjoy that. But as for now, that's it for this one. I really liked it. And I got to see more of a side of Victoria and Siege and her people that I didn't really know about. So I'm happy to know that now. But I'm looking forward to what else is to come yet. There's a lot of really cool stuff coming to Arknights very soon. So for now, let's wrap up this story. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to hang out here on the channel and watch these videos. You guys are the lifeblood of this, especially when it comes to my Arknights content. And you're helping this to motivate me and to continue to motivate me. You're helping me to continue to enjoy these stories as emotionally as they are and bring them to you in a little bit of a different life and with my touch to them, my gameplay, my narration, and so on. But there are other ways that you could still help to support other than just watching. Please like the video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. That's going to help me to continue to grow and reach my goals. And one of which is to hopefully soon join the Arknights headhunting program. With that, that would be one of the biggest achievements for me. But all in due time. For now, appreciate you all so much for watching. That's it for this one. And I will see you all next time.